Alrighty, well, Israel kicked the crap out of Iran. I found this 7-minute clip of Benjamin Netanyahu talking about it, so I'll pop it in and take it from there.
Moments ago, Israel launched Operation Rising Lion, a targeted military operation to roll back the Iranian threat to Israel's very survival. This operation will continue for as many days as it takes to remove this threat. For decades, the tyrants of Tehran have brazenly, openly called for Israel's destruction. They've backed up their genocidal rhetoric with a program to develop nuclear weapons. In recent years, Iran has produced enough highly enriched uranium for 9 atom bombs. 9. In recent months, Iran has taken steps that it has never taken before, steps to weaponize this enriched uranium.
So yeah, he says that Iran has enough enriched uranium for 9 atom bombs, and then he goes on to say that in recent times, they've been trying to weaponize it. So yeah, again, maybe it's just me, but ever since I first heard that Iran wanted to go nuclear, I was like, yeah, they want nuclear weapons. And this was what, more than 10 years ago? I can't remember if it was before or after Obama, but as soon as you realize that Iran wants to get nuclear energy, no, they want nuclear weapons. That would have been a time to nip it in the butt. But they didn't want to do that. If I'm not mistaken, it was because of the Iraq and Afghanistan wars going on.
And if not stopped, Iran could produce a nuclear weapon in a very short time. It could be a year, it could be within a few months, less than a year. This is a clear and present danger to Israel's very survival. 80 years ago, the Jewish people were the victims of a Holocaust perpetrated by the Nazi regime. Today, the Jewish state refuses to be a victim of a nuclear Holocaust perpetrated by the Iranian regime.
In my personal opinion, I don't like it when people compare what happened 80, 90 years ago to events that's happening, now. Because in my opinion, there is no comparison. But it's all about tugging on the heartstrings, I guess.
Now, as Prime Minister, I've made it clear time and again, Israel will never allow those who call for our annihilation to develop the means to achieve that goal.
Problem is, the Iranians have already developed the means. I mean, he said it himself. They have enough enriched uranium for 9 atomic bombs.
Tonight, Israel backs those words with action. We struck at the heart of Iran's nuclear enrichment program. We struck at the heart of Iran's nuclear weaponization program. We targeted Iran's main enrichment facility in Natanz. We targeted Iran's leading nuclear scientists working on the Iranian bomb.
Fingers crossed we don't get a Chernobyl.
We also struck at the heart of Iran's ballistic missile program. Last year, Iran fired 300 ballistic missiles at Israel. Each of these missiles carries a ton of explosives.
And yet, they will rebuild. It might take them some time, but they will rebuild. And they'll be right back at it again.
And threatens the lives of hundreds of people. Soon, those missiles could carry a nuclear payload, threatening the lives not of hundreds, but of millions. Iran is gearing up to produce 10,000 of those ballistic missiles within 3 years. Now just imagine 10,000 tons of TNT landing on a country the size of New Jersey.
Yeah, nukes can threaten the lives of millions, or even billions, because if the Iranians refine the ability to make nuclear weapons, and they're able to mass produce them, they'll be launching nukes all over the place because, if I'm not mistaken, they hate everybody.
This is an intolerable threat. It too must be stopped. Iran is now working on what it calls the new plan to destroy Israel. You see, the old plan failed. Iran and its proxies tried to encircle Israel with a ring of fire and to attack us with the horrible attack of October 7th. But the people of Israel, the soldiers of Israel, rose like lions to defend our country. We crushed Hamas, we devastated Hezbollah, we hit Iranian proxies in Syria and Yemen, And when Iran directly attacked us twice last year, we struck back inside Iran itself.
He says they crushed Hamas. But give it 3 or 4 years, Hamas will probably be right back at it again.
Yet in defending ourselves, we also defend others. We defend our Arab neighbors. They too have suffered from Iran's campaign of chaos and carnage. Our actions against Iran's proxy Hezbollah led to the establishment of a new government in Lebanon and the collapse of Assad's murderous regime in Syria.
Now, I don't know much about Lebanon, but in Syria, I'm going to do an X to doubt. Yeah, Assad's gone, excommunicated or whatever, but who's going to fill the power vacuum, I wonder?
The peoples of those two countries now have a chance for a different future, a better future. So too do the brave people of Iran.
Yeah, those countries do have a chance at a better future if someone worse or exactly the same doesn't take them over again. My understanding of the Middle East or Islamic countries, you off one dictator, despot, another one will just take his place.
And I have a message for them. Our fight is not with you. Our fight is with the brutal dictatorship that has oppressed you for 46 years. I believe that the day of your liberation is near. And when that happens, the great friendship between our two ancient peoples will flourish once again. I want to assure the civilized world, we will not let the world's most dangerous regime get the world's most dangerous weapons. And Iran plans to give those weapons, nuclear weapons, to its terrorist proxies. That would make the nightmare of nuclear terrorism all too real. The increasing range of Iran's ballistic missiles would bring that nuclear nightmare to the cities of Europe and eventually to America.
I mean, he's not wrong. Iran hates the West, and, well, I'm a Westerner, so it's a little problematic. I know there's a lot of people online that don't really like Israel. To them, I would say, well, if you live in the West, Iran is a threat, so good job, Israel. Here's hoping Iran doesn't just rebuild, though.
Remember, Iran calls Israel the small Satan. It calls America the great Satan. And this is why for decades it's led millions in the chants of death to Israel and death to America.
Yep. So again, if you live in the West, you should probably be concerned about Iran getting nuclear weapons. I know I am. Alright, so this video clip goes on for a little bit longer, but there's another video I want to pop in. So I'll cut it here and throw in the other one.
In Washington, President Donald Trump says he was aware Israel was going to attack, although he was advocating for a diplomatic solution, with the U.S. holding several rounds of talks with Iranian officials. On Truth Social, Trump wrote, "I gave Iran chance after chance to make a deal. I told them in the strongest of words to just do it, no matter how hard they tried, no matter how close they got. They just couldn't get it done."
Couldn't get it done? Or didn't want to get it done? I'm going to go with didn't want to get it done.
It was quite clear that Iran was playing for time and was defiantly opposing any real resolution to this growing crisis.
Yeah, exactly. They were just playing for time. This Benjamin Netanyahu guy even said that they were months away from developing nukes, if I remember correct. So, yeah, stall for time, run out the clock, and then as soon as they get them, they can quite literally hold the world hostage.
Israel says more attacks are to come. It closed its embassies around the world, and Israeli officials are urging citizens to not display Jewish symbols in public.
More attacks are yet to come. Am I concerned about that? Again, the Iranian government wants me dead, so no, I don't feel sympathy for the Iranian government. The people? Yeah, but not the Ayatollah. Now, I'm guessing the reason they're closing their embassies and telling people not to wear Jewish symbols because of all the anti-Semitic attacks that have been going on recently. Well, I think that's it for my thoughts on this conflict. Take care out there in Clown World.